walls close quick. The blood in the air is so thick. Are you ready to die? Or are you ready to quit? Finish him. Finish him!
We're back with another episode of Don't Leave to the Judges podcast. Once again, I'm here with Patty Broken Skull. Patty!
Yeah! That's right, folks. We're here. Top rated MMA podcast. Who are we rated by? Doesn't matter. We're just top rated. Okay? And that's just facts. That can't be, argued. You'll just have to figure out where we are top rated. It's not on any system that you guys look at, I'm sure. But anyways, MMA news, man, other than the fact that people are still wishing Conor McGregor's coming back to the White House and all that stuff. Oh, man. Boring.
So, all right, a little bit of news. PFL, do you know what's going on with PFL?
Talk to me.
All right, so their deal with Jake Paul is no longer, even though he never ended up having a fight there. And people are stepping down left and right. CEO stepped down. They got a new CEO. One of the founders, he stepped down. He just stepped down today. And I know that the newest CEO, he's kind of shit-talking ESPN a little bit. It doesn't look like they're going to renew their deal, which is crazy to me because why let UFC go to the wayside? If I just assumed the whole reason they were going to let UFC go to the wayside, they were going to have this PFL go all in. But yes. I guess ESPN rather have fake fighting and shit with wrestling than any kind of MMA.
Right. Which is something that I found pretty interesting about this whole collaboration with the company that bought the WWE and the UFC, because it's kind of gross business to give one of your companies to Netflix, and here's their whole entire catalog, and then go give the other catalog to another company with all this stuff. Because you can't deny, Sam, that Netflix and UFC make sense just the same. You could do the same live events the way that you do Raw every Monday, that type of shit. Why'd they separate them? More money? Because you're dirty, you're rotten, and you need more fucking money? Instead of making it easier on everybody who's probably fans of the UFC and the WWE, you got to separate them. Now we got to get two different things. Instead of simplifying it. That, again, is not user-friendly. It's not consumer-friendly. It's fucking dog shit elite behavior. And guess what, man? We're fed up with it. So this is our last episode. Let's just end it right here, 4 minutes in. That'd be crazy. We just started a YouTube channel. But again, guys, first, thank you for checking out the YouTube. It's been awesome. I'm going to try to do more shorts. It's just not that easy. You know what I mean? It's time-consuming work. But subscribe if you haven't already to anybody who, we got 20 listeners over there on the YouTube. We got 20 on our usual. So I think the turnout is about the same. We're doing exactly what we should do. They're moving. But w.gg if you want to actually support. Anyways.
Jairzinho Rozenstruik, have you heard about him?
I did see that. I did. Okay. I forgot all about it, though. That is, what did he get arrested for, is my question. I didn't see that.
He trapped the lady in the car and was trying to kiss her, and ended up biting her arm and beat her up a little bit. So basically, it sounds like a domestic dispute.
I mean, Sam, the sexual frustration in our world is running rampant. What is happening? It's like guys are putting on Oculus headsets and gooning to fake orgies, or they're fucking spending thousands of dollars on fucking OnlyFans. Guys, it's okay. Find hobbies, bro. Find something else to do, bro. There's other things to do. Instead of gawking at women, stalking women, being sexually. It's just gross, bro. It's gross. I'll never understand it. But yeah, shout out to that guy. I don't think he's even in the UFC anymore as it is, but. No. That's the thing that stains an organization, when somebody was a part of your organization for such a long time and they do something shitty. It's like, oh, War Machine. Remember that guy who's a UFC fighter? It's like, he wasn't, though, really. Like, not really. He spent more time not in the UFC than in the UFC. You know what I mean? It's like, well, technically, he was like a CVS employee if he has more tenure over there than he did in the UFC, right? I think let's call him that, man. But it just puts a stain. I think the WWE the same thing with like Chris Benoit and all these guys, just the different things that have happened throughout the history of these sports. It's like even the guys that aren't successful, like even the lowest level eighth man on a basketball team does something fucked up. They're like former NBA star. It's like he played 6 minutes 4 times.
Yeah.
Like he's not. What are we doing? But I think again, that's just journalists doing this disgusting things to make it seem so much more damning of a company where it's like they're not even affiliated anymore, dude. But yeah, who knows,
Everything's
man.
about the clicks
Oh,
these days.
did you see the clickbait though that did come out for Connor's White House thing? Is like people are talking about him versus Jorge Masvidal. I'm like, wait a second.
No.
Now we're really stretching it, guy. Like, who's making this shit? Why would that even happen? Out of all the people Connor could face, why him? Go ahead.
I did see where Connor was saying that in order for him to fight again, he would have to have a new UFC contract because his contract was based off his pay-per-view buys, and now there will be no pay-per-view buys. Oh,
Whoops. You almost wonder if the president, Dana White, or these guys would have felt better having Connor in this era rather than the pay-per-view. Because they made their money regardless. But do you think their fan base would have grown that much more had Connor been fighting on something like Paramount Plus and doing what he was doing on Paramount? I would imagine any of these big fighters would have really killed it. John Jones's era, straight on not pay-per-view fights, where everybody gets to see it. I mean, Mike Tyson, these guys, any of this pay-per-view shit killed a lot of people's careers, man. I swear. They would have been much more powerful had they just been like, no, this is on free TV like a college football game. But why? But they needed it's special, right? It's violent. Got to put it behind a paywall. Now when you go to Twitter, it's like, what paywall, bro? I just watched a woman get beheaded. I haven't even scrolled down. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Oh, man. You ready to get into this UFC 324?
Absolutely.
All right. I know you're dying to have some fights.
Buddy. Fights that I don't know the outcome to would be awesome. That's why I'm going back to, like, fucking UFC 42. Who's that guy? Never heard of him. Tito Ortiz is probably going to crush him. Let's hope. Also, why has he been around so long? Okay.
So we're at the T-Mobile Arena in Nevada. We start off with welterweight bout Ty Cole Miller versus Adam Fugit. Miller's only 25 years old. He was on the Contender Series in his last fight. He won every round on the judges' scorecards, and he just looked like a boxer. I mean, he's hitting 1-2s, jabs. The man couldn't miss, even though it did go to a decision. Fugit is 36. He's 10-5. He's been knocked out 3 times. He's 2-3 in the UFC, and he's lost 2 of his last 3 fights. I think Ty Cole Miller pieces him up.
Yeah, I'm interested. I honestly, at this point with this fight card, all I want to see is like, let's go fucking 3 rounds every fight, dude. Let's draw it out. Let's you know what? Let's take it outside the octagon into the audience like WWE. Let's get crazy.
I think there's a few setup fights on this thing. But Ricky Tercios versus Cameron Smotherman next. And
this is why so far down on this card, other than it is a good card. You know what I mean? These two should be definitely higher. Not much higher, but a little bit.
Tercios, he has that weird herky-jerky karate style. And it hasn't been working lately. I mean, Raul Roses Jr. had no problem taking him down whenever he wanted to. And he didn't do much at all in his last fight. He's 2-3 in the UFC. Both of his wins were split decisions. Smotherman 12-6. He's been knocked out 2 times. He was a late replacement in his last fight against Ricky Simon and lost by decision. He's 1-2 in the UFC. I mean, he has to win this fight. I mean, one of these guys is probably going to be cut if they lose this, but both of these guys haven't been very good at all. I mean, I would hope Smotherman wins this fight.
It's not an easy name to say, Sam. But I do agree with you. I would like to see the younger guy pull it off. I think Tercios has had his run. I think he's one of these guys that got stuck in his abilities, and he hasn't grown as a fighter. Like we see a lot of the younger guys do when they come in. They constantly get better. I think Smotherman is going to get better. I'm worried about this being a boring grappling match, though. I think Smotherman's going to try to avoid that because even though he's a decent wrestler, I think he's got better hands. He's going to force Tercios to stand with him. That's my hope, but,
Then a
That's just hope.
heavyweight bout next. Josh Hokett versus Denzel Freeman. Hokett, he's 7-0. He's coming off the second round TKO win on the Contender Series. He took his guy down over and over, and then he elbowed the living crap out of him in side control. That was in the Contender Series. In his UFC debut, he walked down, destroyed the guy in less than a minute. I mean, he's like a throwback to the old guys that would take you down and ground and pound you. I mean, this guy's bringing back the ground and pound.
Well, to me, Sam, as much as I can dislike a person's ability on the microphone and their personality overall, I can respect a man's ability to implement his will. And that's what he does. He's really good at that. I think both his Contender Series fight, he, as ugly as it was, as boring as it was, he took a jiu-jitsu guy and just mauled him for a while. It wasn't impressive in the sense of like he beat him down. He just he tired him out. He wore him out. He showed he was a superior athlete. But then his next fight, the one that I again was rooting against him, he goes and he puts the guy away. Almost not trying, right? Like not even thinking about it, puts him away. I feel a similar thing happening here. My issue is don't let him talk on the microphone because that's where you become hateable. His fighting could speak for itself already, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Without him saying anything, we could be like he could be a prospect.
With the American
that's what I'm
flag
saying.
Okay.
The glasses, the Randy Savage wannabe nonsense, the Hulk Hogan speeches. Hey, brother, I'm America and I'm blood and whatever the fuck he said his last time. Nobody listens. But my point is like, this is a guy who's doing the extra talking on the mic, whereas his fighting is already speaking for itself. You don't have to do the extra show, my guy. I get it. We get it. Sam and I understand the whole do the gimmick thing. You're going to help boost people. We know who you are now. Shouldn't care. But also your fight's doing the job. So if he comes in here and does that other thing, he lose the whole shtick, bro. The Colby Covington thing's got to go. Be yourself, because this playing it up isn't worth it when the heavyweight division is wide open as it is, and you go in and destroy boys like this. We're gonna notice.
Yeah, it is wide open, and these guys they're almost cheating away because they come in at the very low end of the heavyweight division. I mean, this guy's like 236, somewhere like that, 240, come in and they're quicker than everybody else. So
sure,
Freeman's gonna come in here at 260. He's 7-1. His only loss was a split decision in PFL to a guy that's 4-2. So, but he's won his last two fights that were both in LFA. One of those was rear naked choke over Steven Asplund, and I know you know who that is. He's making a name for himself lately, offering to suck on Dana White's toes for a contract. But anyway, so yeah, I think Hokett should be able to pressure him, take him down, try to pound them out.
Come in here and perform. Get it done. That's what I say. Don't waste no time.
Lightweight bout next, you got Michael Johnson, who's 25-19 against Alexander Hernandez, who's 18-8. Not a great record itself. Johnson's 39 years old. Both of these guys, they're inconsistent as hell, but they're tough guys. To have the records that they have, they're both extremely tough.
They're in the wrong weight class. I think both of them will be great in different weight classes. I also think that these are both fighters that they definitely kept around because that Paramount money is really easy to give these two. They're going to sign the contract.
Johnson's won his last three.
I know. Isn't that disappointing?
So, yeah, I mean, I think Hernandez, he ends that streak, puts Johnson away.
I mean, he's got to win like 7 or 8 more for his record to not look so ugly. And I think Alexander ain't going to help that. Here's your 20th loss, dipshit.
Next, Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. All right, Perez is 25-10, and most of his fights are decision. This guy's been submitted 6 times. He's won 5 of his last 6 fights, though. He just fought back in November, and I believe the UFC just used him to set up that Almabayev guy, the Asu Almabayev, and
yeah,
it worked. I mean, this Perez has been like a stepping stone for a while now. Figueiredo, Pantoja, Tierra, they all beat this guy and then they move right up. Almabayev. So I'm not sure what's happening now. I don't know why Charles Johnson is next in the spot, but I mean he's like being set up for a future title shot. But it's pretty wild about Perez. But anyway, Johnson's 18-7. the thing is, he's never been finished. All 7 of his losses decisions. He's won 5 of his last 6, and he actually has a KO win over Joshua Van. So maybe they are setting this guy up to be like, hey, you know what?
Let's get that storyline.
Yeah, let's get the storyline, because Van was beating him up, and then Van got wore out in round 3, and it was just a setting duck. So yeah, that's the only thing I can think that they're doing with this.
Well, do you make an argument, because that's one thing that you're not saying, and I didn't even think about it until now, about Perez being some sort of a gatekeeper? Because it's like, is he though? You know what I mean? Like, kind of, but for what position? You know what I mean? Like, because like you're saying, every guy that's beating him gets a title shot. They're getting a nice push.
It's like Dan Hooker.
That's true.
You beat Dan Hooker,
That's true.
You just go straight to the top.
God damn it, man. We're finding the storylines ourselves, Sam. We're building them. We should just start writing for the UFC. Fuck around if you want to. These fights need better storylines. We'll create them, backstage brawls and shit. Let's go. Do some UFC Unreal.
Nikita Krylov, Modestas Bukauskas, whatever.
Beautiful.
Krylov, he's the guy. He's from the Ukraine. This is the guy that got banned from his own gym. They fucking wouldn't let him back in because he backs Russia in the war versus Ukraine, even though he's from Ukraine.
Right.
But I mean, his last win was over Ryan Spann 3 years ago. All right, he was knocked out in the first round in his last 2 fights. Modestas, he's 19-6, 11 KO wins, 4 KO losses. Krylov's, he's been knocked out 3 times, submitted 6. So, but anyway, Bukauskas, he's won 8 of his last 9 fights. He usually gets into a slugfest, and if that happens here, I think he knocks Krylov out.
I like that. I'd have to agree fully. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm curious on what guys are going to really try to put on a show here for fucking Paramount. You know what I mean? Who's really like, yeah, take my head off, or I'm going to take yours off. You know what I mean? I think this next fight probably, yeah.
This next fight, I'm going to fuck the names up, but it's Atiba? Gaethje. I'm going to say his last name like it's French, even though he's from Cameroon.
Yeah, right.
Andre.
Because how else would you say it?
Yeah, Andre Polayev. Anyway.
Pulayev?
So Gaethje, this guy, I said this before, he reminds me of the other guy that was from Cameroon that had, like, the guy was chiseled out like out of stone. I can't even remember that guy's name now, and he ended up losing like 2 or 3 fights in a row. But, when you first fought, and you're like, oh my God, there's no one's going to beat this dude. Look at the guy. Yeah. And this guy, he's the real version of that guy. He's got a ton of power, 9-1, 8 knockout wins. He had a second round TKO win on the Contender Series. He's 3-0 in the UFC. All 3 were first round knockout wins. Andrew, dude, you're 10-3, 6 KO, 2 sub wins. He had a decision win on the Contender Series. He lost decision in his UFC debut. That was against Christian Leon Duncan, who is a tough guy.
Yeah.
And then in his last fight, he had a second round KO win over Nick Klein. I don't know what happened to Nick Klein. Nick Klein just tanked, but
Nick Klein declined.
Yeah. I think Gutierrez, he should get a knockout win here.
I like it. It looks like this Andre fella is probably a jiu-jitsu guy, just by his build and his picture and face and all things about him. This next fight, though, prelim fight, wild. That's how good this card is, folks. Get ready.
Umar Nurmagomedov, Davison Figueiredo. Nurmagomedov 19-1. He's coming off the decision win over Mario Batista in the last fight. The only blemish on his record was his loss to Marab. And I don't think Figueiredo's got anything that's going to be able to stop him from taking him down. I mean, Figueiredo he's been showing his age lately. He's 37. He barely got by Montel Jackson by split decision in his last fight. It might be time for him to be thinking about like hanging him up.
I do like this matchup, though, as strange as it is, because it's bantamweight. You could argue a little bit that this is sort of a passing of a torch if it was flyweight, you know what I mean? Because they're kind of the similar fighter. But I do think that Umar is the younger one, the young blood. He's going to come in here and probably just have his way with Davison. Davison's going to last the entire time because you can't just put the guy away. You know what I mean? It's just impossible. He's made of stone like the last thing you were talking about, the last guy. All right, what do we got next? Is it John Silva?
Yeah. Arnold Allen,
Right.
John Silva.
Here we go, man. Fighting nerds trying to get this. This is another one that was kind of hard for me to pick. This was not hard for me to pick, okay? I picked this stuff on my UFC game, guys. I'm going to try to bet on these fights. I'll let you know the results come next week. That'll be fun. Like, yeah, I lost $50. Fucking damn it. Got all of it wrong. I took a shot. But, yeah, this is one of the fights you could pick, John Silva or Arnold Allen. And I was like, well, I think John Silva's pissed. I think he's mad as fuck. And I think he's got something to prove. And I think that was similar to Rufy and, the other guy with the free spirit on his neck, Cal.
Oh, yeah.
I think they all are angry, and they're going to come back aggressive, and I think that's what we're going to see here. I think Arnold is a very talented fighter, though. I think he's he's good. His defense, offense is great. His stand-up, his wrestling, he's very well-rounded. I just think that the power advantage will lean towards Jean, and that in itself, if it connects, it's a problem. Not that I've seen Arnold go out bad, but we've seen Jean do some things to some guys where you're like, that shouldn't have happened. That was fucked up.
I agree with everything you said there. And I'm going to say this as well. Allen, he's 20-3, and no one cares about this guy because we only see him once a year. Even if he was to win this thing, we're not going to see him for another year, so why would we even care?
Which I don't understand. Is that your doing or is that the UFC's doing? It doesn't make any sense because this guy was like 15-1 for so long. Like back when, what is it, Jose Aldo was still champ? You're like, why are you not throwing this guy a bone? Get him in there. You're going to give Ray Borg? No, that wasn't right. Ray Borg is Mighty Mouse Johnson. Doesn't matter. Let's move on, guys. I don't know anything. This next one was a tough one to pick too, man. I'm not going to lie. Because I really like Silva. After her last fight, okay, it's Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. And after Natalia's last fight, was that a title shot? It was a very tough fight. She was fighting somebody big. I can't remember who it was. Shevchenko? No, I don't fucking know.
She's won her last 13 fights, so.
Either way, she's very creative striker. She's so fast.
Oh, it's Gracio.
She's like Frankie Edgar. Who was it?
Alexa Gracio.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. I do know some things. I just got to pick it out of my brain as fast as I can. Sometimes you stumble. But nonetheless, Rose Namajunas, hell of a wrestler, great grappler. She could strike, but I don't know if there's anything that she's that much better than any of these other female fighters. Like, you could look at Amanda Nunes and Shevchenko and be like, the striking is a huge advantage. They're great strikers. Rose, like, she's durable. You know what I mean? She stays in the fight. She's willing to be in there. Is that whole thing? And that's fine. Natalia is, like I said, a Frankie Edgar. She's in and out. She's popping. She's gone. You ain't even there to touch her. And she's champion material because this is a fighter to me that is hard to figure out. Like if you're fighting Natalia Silva as a champion, trying to take her belt, it would be like, how do you beat her? Now she's the person trying to get to the belt, so it's a little bit different where it's like, how do you beat Rose Namajunas? Whereas you flip the script and it's like, I think it's harder to figure out Silva than it would be to figure out Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, what's your thoughts? 19-5-1 for Silva, 15-7 for Rose.
Well, Silva, you'd have to go all the way back to December 2017, the last time she lost a fight. So she's won her last 13 fights. And, it's so wild because you're like, who'd she fight? This is my next sentence I got right down. She had a decision win over Alexa Gracio. For some reason, I went and looked it up. But anyway. But an argument can be made that Gracio could be a tougher fighter than Rose. You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
I just think I don't know if Rose has it much for. I mean, Rose, she's going to move in and out, try to get a takedown or two. I think Silva's got. I think she outpoints her.
I think she's so crispy, bro. Like her combos are just fluid, so fluid. I think if she puts them together in the right amount of time, she could overwhelm Rose, put her on her back, and then just finish her with some shots on top. Maybe second or third round. I think I definitely pick decision though for sure.
Yeah, I would.
If I was to gamble,
definitely think a decision. But this next fight, I've been waiting for this fight.
I mean, what do you do, man? It's fighting a mirror.
Waldo Cortez Acosta Dude, I hope you haven't been an illusion this whole time. I hope you don't have me hyped up for no reason. Please let the hype be real. He's fighting Derek Lewis. All right, he's 16-2. If this fight was been happening in Houston, we all know what would happen.
He's got his number. He's got Derek's number.
This man has earned my respect. He's 9-2 in the UFC. And, I mean, that fight where he got poked in the eye and just, like, fucking went crazy. It's like he changed. The man changed. And then he went to the equator, Qatar, whatever you want to call it. And he fucking lands there right in time for the weigh-ins and knocked out Shamil in the first round. So, I mean, he usually is very patient, fights smart. I do worry that he does like to back up against the cage a lot. He'll back up against the cage and kind of dance his way out of it.
Yeah.
That scares me against Lewis, because if Lewis has you against the cage,
there's almost nowhere to go. It's a wall to a cage.
One of those hands, you're like, you can't make a mistake. Be like, oh yeah. I'm not going to do that again. We'll stay out here. You won't be able. You'll be asleep. So that does worry me. But man, I am rooting for him, man, because I want to see newer, fresher heavyweights. Yeah, Lewis has been around forever. He's 40 years old. I mean, we know he can knock you out at any time. So, what's Acosta gonna? Is Acosta just gonna grapple and grind on him, try to pull him to the ground? He might have did that against Spain, So this is his opportunity to shine right here. You got to run with it, my man. This is your dude. You can be a household name if you have a flashy knockout win against Derek Lewis.
Yeah. Okay. To knock out Derek Lewis in itself. I mean, look at his Sam. I'm telling you right now, I don't think the man's been knocked out. Has anybody finished Derek Lewis? Rosenstruck? Maybe? The guy who just got...
He got arrested.
Right?
All right, he's been knocked out 7 times.
Okay. So he had... that's right, because he did lose in Houston.
Houston.
By knockout.
About the Houston fights. Plus, I'm sure there's been times he's been taken down also and knocked out.
Sure. That's my thing about Cortez, about Acosta, I'll say, is he is his fight IQ, so good, so smart, fights so smart. He knows what to do against the guy, and if he's smart, he will grind the fuck out of Derek Lewis. That's just what he'll do because it's smart, and he's a hell of an athlete because he can. Even Derek Lewis's cardio for his size, I think, is incomparable to Waldo, because I've never seen him tired, and I want to equate his eye poke to a previous eye poke fight that was the outcome was very fun, which was when Anthony Rumble Johnson got poked by that Evan Sherman or whatever guy, and the fight ended. He got like surgery on his eye. They rescheduled the fight, and he fucking dog walked his ass. That is as good as all Acosta's was better because it was during the fight. He could have quit.
Yeah,
he could have quit, went home, rescheduled, came back. He did. He said, "Let me figure this out," and finish the guy the same night. It's better than Rumble Johnson, but it's still an epic. Gotcha, bitch. Anyways, this to me is a guy fighting himself. I think, again, this is the young version of Derek Lewis. This is who Derek Lewis used to be, minus the grindiness that Acosta will have as far as his wrestling. I think these guys might just try to take each other's fucking head off, and that will be the funnest Paramount Plus fight opening that you could have or ask for. Truly. He deserves this opportunity 100%. But I don't know. I think I don't think Acosta's going to even try to hit him hard enough to put him to sleep. You know what I mean? I think he's going to wait. He's going to try to tire him out. Anyways.
I just don't want him backing against the cage. I'm going to be yelling at the TV.
That's terrifying.
If he does that, I'm going to be yelling at the fucking
Getting
TV.
nervous.
Shit. So, the co-main event. Sean O'Malley, Song Yudong. All right. O'Malley, he's got a 3-inch height, a 4-inch reach advantage. He's 18-3, 12 KO wins. The only losses he's had is Marlon Vera back in 2020, and then the last fights against Marab. I mean,
right?
Marab's is so fucking tough for that wrestling. So Song, 22-8, 9 KO, 3 sub wins. He's been knocked out twice. He's won 3 of his last 4 fights, but I mean, both of these guys, they fight at range, and I think O'Malley's gonna be able to just dart in and out. And outpoint him. I mean, he's going to dart in and out. I think he's going to be too quick.
I think that and the reach. I think the reach in itself, like you're saying, that's definitely going to be a huge factor for O'Malley. He's going to be able to tag him. That's where the points are going to come from. Dong's not going to take a lot of them, but he's not going to be able to avoid a lot either.
All right, so that leads us to the main event. Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett. Gaethje's 37. Paddy's only 30 years old. Yeah, man. It's almost like a passing of the torch, I think.
Think?
I've struggled to I mean, I want to pull for Gaethje just because I've seen some of Pimblett's past, like some of his performances haven't lived up. Some of them been great.
Sure.
Mind you, the one against the monkey guy. I can't think of his name. You know what I'm talking about, the spider monkey. I mean, he some of his fights he's gotten off to a slow start.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Gaethje's going to take advantage of that. And
right.
Yeah, I mean, he did have that one fight. God damn, my memory is just gone to shit. The one where he fought, he should have fucking lost. He should have lost by decision. The judges give him the fight.
Yeah, what's the guy's name? Something Gordon. Jared Gordon.
Jared Gordon. So.
Yeah, questionable for sure, because Jared Gordon, Justin Gaethje's not a bad matchup, I don't think. I'd like to see it, yeah.
Yeah, Jordan Levitt is who I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, Spider Monkey guy. I knew. I just saw a guy doing splits, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's that guy.
He's won his last 9. Beat Michael Chandler in the 3rd round. This stage is set for him. The UFC, I'm sure they would love to make him a star out of this.
Can I be honest? I'll take a Paddy Pimblett over a Conor McGregor as the lightweight champion. You know what I mean? Like that. He's the right age. He also has a great background. His previous history as being a champion is insane. What I notice about Paddy, which I like, is he's not worried ever about who his opponent is. He doesn't seem intimidated or scared. He knows that he's good everywhere. His submissions are great. His hands are great. And I think he also has enough experience fighting top guys wherever he was before, Cage Warriors and shit, as a champion, that this is minor work to him. And it should be for somebody that has that success. That's what you think about these guys that end up on the Ultimate Fighter. Previous champion. I had 6 belts. You know what I mean? All this shit. And you're like, you fucking stink. Who the fuck were you fighting? And then Sam goes and tells you, he's like, oh, all of his opponents' record combined is 48 and 107. You're like, that's fucking terrible. Like, so everybody he fought was dog shit, and he was the best guy. Okay, so the best guy isn't great. And that sometimes is the case, and that sometimes is how they end up where they are. You know, it's like you got to take the best guy out of the worst guys, right? There has to be a best guy of the worst. Joe Rogan, you know what I mean? And I think that's sort of a situation that happened. But I believe in this. This here is Justin Gaethje sort of giving the fans an opportunity to see how good Paddy is. Because Justin Gaethje is not a guy that you just beat the fuck up and it's over. You beat him up for the whole fight. Like, it's never ending. You're fighting him for the whole 25. You're putting punches in his face the whole 25. You know, unless you're Max Holloway and you get the last fucking 5 seconds to yourself. You know what I mean? Other than that, Justin Gaethje's in your face the whole time. And this is us as fans being able to say, okay, is Paddy Pimblett a champion? Can he beat the human highlight reel? A guy who's got a plethora of knockouts, a chin of granite. You know what I mean? He can take damage with the best of them. I mean, him and Justin Gaethje should go at it purposefully for that fact alone, to showcase how good Paddy is. I want to see him in a war like his first fight. I want to see him struggle. I want to see it be rough for him. And it should be. If Justin Gaethje is as good as everybody wants to believe, it should be. And also, if these men want to put on a fucking show, put on the show that you can. They can both take shots. They both got hands. They both can wrestle if they so choose. Watch Justin Gaethje come in here and tap him out for some goofy ass reason. Like, what are you doing wrestling? I doubt that, though. I do think that this is going to be, hey, how many shots can Paddy take? How many can he give? Who's going to end the last shot? I think we're going to see, hey, stand in the middle, punch me in the face, I'm going to punch you next. Right. I hope that that's the case, because that's the best showcase we're going to see for Paddy. To argue championship status. Does he get Arman Tsarukyan? Does he get Topuria at some point? Because there's that storyline that's still standing there. We don't forget, Sam. We're good at this. Guys, follow the show. Check out w.gg. Use promo code JUDGES for 10% off. Get energy drink in a packet. You don't have to go to the fucking gas station every morning. You just dump that in your water, shake it up, and off you go. You know, you don't need wings because nobody should be flying. That's insane. Also, check out the Twitter, the Instagram, at Don't Leave It Pod. You could probably just type in Don't Leave It to the Judges. We got to be one of the very few using that long ass name.
Sure.
Check out Don't Leave It to the Judges on YouTube as well. You can type that in, but that's also a common thing a lot of people say, so it's hard to find us. So just type in Judges MMA. That is our channel, at Judges MMA. Support over there. We're posting full episodes over there. Check out the Crawl Space Patreon. Check out Comedy Crawl Space on YouTube. And what else did I post? Tectonic Cult, man. That's the music stuff. That's the metal stuff. And that's it. Let's get out of here.